dance.
Meta and Peter.
And I didn't do what my coach told me to do, you know? And I was... I did do that.
Well, I have to say, I give props to Nancy Grace. I would say, though, I've got the most heart.
You might be the happiest contestant I've ever seen when you're out there dancing.
I mean, we're here to have a bit of fun anyway, so you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what happens.
Are you understanding all that?
I thought everyone's done great, so at the minute, everyone's a competition.
Yeah. You did what? Could you understand that?
Has anyone ever told you you kind of sound like a leprechaun? Just a little bit.
I want to thank you so much for your votes and your calls and your emails. I want to say thank you because is no way I would be back next week if you guys hadn't voted. He performed the routine flawlessly. I made a boo-boo, which the judges were only too happy to point out. And if it had not been for your support and your votes, I wouldn't have made it. So thank you, everybody on Facebook and Twitter. And I promise not to let you down Monday night. With the quick step.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, operative word is quick in that quick step. And that shot of Tristan and myself is after 7 hours of practicing the quick step yesterday. And we had just come out. Again, I just can't thank you enough for calling in and voting. We wouldn't still be in the competition if it were not for you. Out to the lines, Joe in Florida. Hi, Joe. What's your question?
Hi, Nancy. You guys are doing great. Woo! I read in the magazines.
Thank you.
I read in the magazines that you guys train all these hours a day. But my question was, how many days a week do you actually have to train? Is it just a few?
That's a good question, Joe. Here's the way it shakes down. The first, I think it was 2 weeks of competition. You had to take 1 day off a week. And you could not practice, I believe it was over 5 hours. But now, all bets are off. And, you know, the cha-cha blew my mind. I thought I loved it. The quick step I like a whole lot better, although the steps are a lot more intricate than in the cha-cha. But we are doubling down on the quick step, Joe. And let me tell you, of course, you can ask any working mother in America how easy it is to work and raise children. It's not easy. Being away from them during the rehearsals is the most difficult part for me. But yes, we are working now up to 7 and 8 hours a day on the quick step. Out to the lines, Eugene in California. Hi, Eugene. What's your question?
Yes, Nancy. I was just wondering, have the producers give you any sense of how they combine the scores between the judges and from the polling that goes on, and how anybody stacks up?
You know, Eugene in California, that's a good question because I tried to read what they've given us about it, and I still don't really understand it. In my mind, Eugene, it's 50-50 judge versus call-ins and votes. But there's also something about a share. Let me go to Kyle Massey, the runner-up, Dancing with the Stars, Season 11. Kyle joining us from L.A. Kyle, thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me, Miss Nancy.
I haven't been called Miss Nancy since I flew out of Atlanta. Hey, Kyle, were you ever held in Jeopardy number one?
I'm born and raised in Atlanta. I'm sorry, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
Were you ever held in Jeopardy?
Yes, I was held in Jeopardy, and that is probably one of the scariest moments of Dancing with the Stars. Yeah, it is the worst.
Do you still remember what it felt like?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I remember every single moment of it. It's like as soon as you step out there, the whole audience is hushed. The red lights are just more dramatic, and then the bass is bumping, and there's the silence, and Tom's, just monotone voice just makes it all scary. It's like, it's intense,
Well, how many times were you held in Jeopardy?
I believe like 2 or 3 times. I don't remember exactly how many times, but every single time is different, It's like, because as the weeks, go on, you want it more and more and more, and it gets more serious, and you just dedicate more time to it, and it becomes emotional more than just a physical, aspect of dance. It's just, it's so intense. It's like, but it's the bomb, though. I love it.
Okay, question, Kyle Massey. Did you ever cry?
Did I cry? No, I didn't cry.
Did you ever cry?
But,
Never,
No,
not
ma'am,
once,
I'm
not
always
ever,
smiles.
never in practice after 7 or 8 hours practicing the quick step and your high heels were hurting and your feet were bruised and you had on bandages, you never just like one little tear didn't come down? Not that I'm confessing, but never once. Your eyes didn't even get moist. You know,
I
Kyle,
thought about
you
it.
know when I was down there on that front step about to be thrown off and sitting home packing, everybody said, why weren't you smiling? Why weren't you happy? I was like, I was trying not to cry.
Yeah, it's intense. People think it's just a television show. Like when people watch it's just a television show. But for us, it is scary. It is very scary.
Well, Kyle, did you ever understand how the voting works?
Well, I believe it's 50% judge votes, and then it's 50% America votes. So they combine the total of, judges' scores and viewers' votes together, and then whoever has the lowest overall total goes home that week.
For that particular night, to AJ Hammer, host of HLN's Showbiz Tonight. AJ, you love to grill me about Dancing with the Stars. I'm afraid I'm going to ask you a question, and you're just going to, fire one back at me.
Yes.
Do you understand how the voting works, AJ?
Yeah, well, Kyle pretty much nailed it there. It's not all that complicated.
AJ, thanks for the great shot of me after 7 hours of the quick steps standing outside somebody's lawn. I was looking really good then.
Let me tell you,
at least Trista looked good.
That was my absolute pleasure doing that, sure. Now, here's the deal with the voting.
How does the voting work?
It's really not that complicated, and Kyle basically had it right. The judges' scores get added up, and that becomes a certain percentage of all of the judges' scores for the night. And then all of the voter tabulations from people at home, they're calling in, and by the way, people can call in up to 12 times. That all gets tabulated as its own percentage of the total votes. So whoever has the lowest combined between the judges and the viewer voting, that is how it works. And can I talk to you just for a second, Nancy? Because I've been talking to you about doing Dancing with the Stars for a few weeks now. A few weeks ago, you asked me, no, you commanded me to pledge my support and my loyalty to you. So I am doing that.
I did.
But here's what I need you to do for me, and I think for all of America. You need to start cutting yourself a break. You have the lovely Lisa Rinna on right now, who was a semi-finalist, but she was in the bottom 2 on the show. Kyle Massey, also in jeopardy, but pushed on through. So, Nancy, stop thinking that you're not going to push on through because you were in the bottom 2. It was nail-biting indeed. I had Kelly Monaco, first season winner, on Showbiz Tonight last night, and she said to me, the biggest battle, the biggest problem that people have with the show is the battle that they do with themselves. Plus, you got to watch out for the Kardashian sisters and what they're going to tweet about you.
Providing a constant neck massage, is that part of the party?
No, I know.